25 years ago, I didn't intend to start Grimes because I thought having a secondary school is a lot of pressure and a lot of wahala. But when I realized that the students that are leaving St. Gladys are having problems getting a good school around the vicinity to go to, so we decided it might be the best idea to have a secondary school of our own where our children that leave our primary school can go to so that they can have good standard education, and that the kind of education we were giving them in the primary, when they get to the secondary, they'll be able to continue the same kind of system and the kind of good and basic education that we can give them. One of the problems we had to solve at the beginning was because in the vicinity in which we are then, it was not very well developed and there were not many schools around. So our students were having problems getting a good school to go to. So we were trying to help the community, and there were so many of them who got interested in education. So a lot of parents, maybe they wouldn't have sent their school to private school, they would have gone to the community school or something. There was not even community school when we started around this vicinity. So we were just one of the few that was here, and we kind of enticed them with good education for their young ones, which made them now test for having a secondary education. So we were trying at the same time to educate these children, educate the community and the parent to let them know the importance of having a good education because and a good secondary education. Because some of them, as much as they want their children to go to school, they're not really forced. What kind of standard? Let them just get pushed through school. So that was one of the problems we had to solve at that time, educating parents to know the importance of having a good secondary school education. At that time when we started, the earliest days, it was good. There was not many children. I remember we very well that one of the things that stand out to me was when we started, we had a boarding school facility we put in place, we put AC and have it very nice. But for the first 2 years, nobody came to the boarding school. And we have a few that were in the day school, and 4 years down the lane, or was it 2 years down the lane, we realized that we had to fold up because there was just not enough children to pay the cost. At that time, I think we were spending about 400,000. At that time, 400,000 was a lot of money, and the school itself was just bringing in like 250 or something like that. So there was a lot of deficit. And I was living in England, working and sending money to pay teachers' salary and all of those things. So 2 years down the lane, we decided, you know what, let's pack it up for a bit and then we can start our bags. A lot of parents that were with us then, they didn't like it. They were very unhappy that their children were enjoying being there. But I just felt, we're not moving forward. We might as well go backwards. And then we stopped. But funny enough, when we stopped, within another year, the vicinity was improving. There were more houses being built, more people moving from the city into like our little village here. So that helped encourage us that okay, there are new houses coming up. Let's go back and start the secondary again. So we went back and start again, and then it was better. It was not the best. We were still kind of borrowing money to pay teachers at that time. I remember it only since 2018, since we started, that we stopped borrowing money to pay the salary. We just didn't have enough children. And because we don't want them to charge them too much, because we want them to be able to afford to come here. And then we were having a lot of people owing, a lot of debtors, because we know they couldn't afford it. And they were all just struggling because they want their children to have a good education. The biggest challenges that we faced in the early years were just trying to get children to come. Like I said, the vicinity was not developed enough. So when the children are not there, nothing you can do about it. So it was a big challenge trying to fill the classes up. It took us a while. I remember we were counting, every time we have another new one, we're so happy. And between July and September, we used to go around with the school bus, trying to print out flyers, give out flyers to people. But thank God today we don't have to do all of that anymore. But it was a big challenge filling the classes up. Yes, by when we started, I didn't give up, but I just felt we needed to stop for a bit, which was when we stopped and restarted again. And we pulled through because the vicinity got developed a bit and we were more ready for all of the challenges that may come through to us then. So that gave us the confidence that we could start again and we wouldn't have to stop. The biggest lesson we learned from that was that you have to be patient. Whatever it is you're doing, you have to be patient. That it takes time. School business is not one of those things like buying and selling, where you buy and you just sell and the money comes through. No, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of investment. You have to put so much into it. You have to invest so much into it to make sure it's a standard school. And then maybe for years, like I said, for years we were not making any profit. Both in this, even in the primary, we were not making any profit. But we were doing it because we wanted to educate children and give them the best education that they can have. That was the goal, and that was the passion, and that was what was driving us to continue going. So anybody who wants to set up a school should know that it's not a 2 5 year program project. You're looking at 15 to 20 years before you can be stable, before you can have everything you need. As we are becoming 25 years in it, I'm sure there's still some certain things we need that we haven't got yet. We're still doing a building that we haven't finished, and we've been building it for like 8 years now. We're still on it. But with God on our side, we know we'll finish it. The turning point or the milestone is when we could pay the teacher's salary without having to borrow, which was in 2018. From 2018, every year there was a difference. Every year there was improvement. Yes, the money was not there, but we have enough to pay the teachers, to invest, to improve the standard of what we've got in terms of the classrooms, the building, and all of that. So within that 25 years, 2018 was the turning point. Before we now had COVID between 2019 and 20, but that was, because 2018 was better and we didn't have to borrow, it made it easier to survive 2019 and 20, which was the COVID time. The achievement that I'm personally most proud of is when I see the children graduating. Where I always tell them that you take a bit out of me every time a set passed out. Every set that I've passed through, they're all different. We've had 15 sets, and within that 15 set, there has been some very good ones and there's been some very naughty ones. But they all still passed through. They were still all students. They were still all children, and we still treat them like children. And that's given me a bit of joy. It's given me not even a bit. It's given me a great joy to see them passed out, to see them graduate, to see them gaining admission into universities without cheating, without having to compromise the exams they were taking, that they could defend every exams they do and get out of here, that they could defend every result that they get. That's one of the turning point that makes me proud that I can go out and boast that my children, their papers, they've done it themselves and they can defend it. And the evidence was there because they were gaining admission without having to struggle to one of top universities, and they were doing very well, and they were graduating out of the place and coming back to us to do their NYSC or to teach or do whatever or whichever programs they want to do. That's what gives me most joy. From the beginning to what it is today, it is a long time of hard work. It is hard work and a lot of support, family support. When I say family support, I'm referring to my husband. He has been very supportive from the beginning. He has been very supportive. He has been very helpful in doing the buildings. He's ready to get his hands dirty by helping in the building and everything we were doing. So that's been he encouraging me and standing by me and supporting me and my children. That's kind of giving me the confidence and the support I need to just get on and getting whatever it is I need done to be done. The most important people that believes in my vision on the early days was firstly my mother, who, when I told her I wanted to start the primary school, she spoke to my father about it and they granted me the wishes to use their land to start the primary school at that time. And when we started the secondary, when we told them, they were very happy about it and they were very supportive. After that is my great auntie, Mrs. Clementina Bekedorigos. She was a very great instrumental into everything I've done, into everything I've done concerning the school, really, because as I was living in England then, she was the one helping me to manage and monitor what was happening in the school. And she was the one who actually encouraged me to start the secondary. She kind of physically started the secondary school and said, here it is, go run it. So she was very, very, very helpful, and she's still very helpful to us. She's still there. She's a great mentor, a great educationist, and our own school too is 45 years old. So our secondary is 35 years old. She's doing very well. And then my husband, he's always been there, and the children, my two boys, Lumide and Oluwamayode, they have been very supportive. They've always been there, encouraging me, sometimes praising me to get me going, which has been very helpful. Every time I hear from them and they encourage me, like, Mom, just keep going. We're happy. We appreciate what we're doing. And, those are the sort of things. And then I have good staff who have been very helpful too and supportive and helping. So I've just been a lucky woman, really, that the grace of God and all these people around me have been able to do what it is that I'm doing. The culture that have kept the teachers and staff going for 25 years, because the oldest staff in Grimes is 21 years with us, and some of them are 14, 15, and so on and so forth, is the respect I give them. I believe as a boss, I don't see myself as a boss. I see myself as somebody who is working with them. I see them as my mate and I respect them. I give every one of them, no matter what their qualification is or who they are, so long as they are working there, I give them the respect they deserve. I don't just treat them shabbily or badly. I respect them. I respect their opinion. And because of that mutual respect that we have for each other, they kind of want to get it right. So they know we all want to get it right. And I try to be very transparent. So there's no hide and seek. I don't hide anything from them. We all work together. They know who I am. They know what I want. And I walk along with them. so that when I'm not there, they know what to do. They're ready to do whatever it is they have to do because we work together like comrades. The role parents and partners played in the journey. Parents have been very supportive. I have been very lucky. Like I said, in the 25 years that I've had the school, the Grimes International College, I've never had any argument with any parent. I've never had a course where parents will come and shout on my face or me shout on their faces. I respect them. The kind of respect I give to my teachers, I respect my parents. I see my parents as a buyer and that I'm a seller. And because of that, as a buyer, as a seller, you have to try and do everything you can to satisfy your buyers. And that's the way I look at parents, that they're here to buy. I'll respect them. I'll give them everything they need or everything they deserve or everything that is expected of the school to give to the children. We give them. Because of that, there's that gap between them. They're not my friends, but they're not my enemy, and they were not mates because I respect them as people that we're doing business with, and because of that, they respect me, and we all work together as one, and they do all they can. Most of them, they're the ones who advertise for the school. A lot of them that have left are still advertising for us. Now we don't have any advert, we don't have any signboard anywhere, but we're lucky that we still have people's student coming from word of mouth from our old parents and our current parents. So that's been really very helpful to us as a school to have a good relationship with our parents. And I'm so happy and blessed with the set of parents we've got. The school has made a great difference to this community, especially this community, because sometimes when I look at the families in this community, some of the students that have passed out from here, they wouldn't have had that opportunity to go to a school like this if we were not here. Because I know, you know, things is a bit tight or a bit low in this area, but they all still struggle with the school ready to help them. Because of that, we set up a foundation to help the most less privileged to fund their education, mainly in the university. So up till date now, we're still helping. At least I think so far we've helped about 42 parents or 42 students go to university, and most of them out of that 42, I think about 20 or more have passed out. They all still come back. So I believe that's been a great help to this vicinity and this community. It has enriched this community to have good educated people around, which is good. They're all graduating, they're all doing well. Some of them are married. They invite me to weddings, and it's joy to go to places like that and see some of those old students coming up to support their friends getting married. So it's a big cycle, really. It's a big cycle. You see this young man or young girl passing out, doing his YA, graduating, going to university, getting out, getting married. So it's a cycle of, we've all become like a one family. You see some of the old parents, they see you and they're happy to see you, they embrace you because, things has been good with their children. So it's rewarding. It's a very rewarding job to be doing what we do. What I would like people to remember most about this 25 years is that as a school, for the 25 years or 15 years that we've been doing the WAEC, we have pride ourselves not to cheat in WAEC. That's one great thing because it's a great concern to someone like me, the cheating problem in the country, which is really now become a sickness to the country. And WAEC is doing everything it can to try and stop it, to try and, eradicate this thing. And I hope and pray that they'll be able to get it done. They are investing so much into it, coming up with new ideas on how to stop it. But us as a school, that is a great pride for me. And a lot of parents and a lot of people that are in the vicinity knows this, and they talk about us to say that even some of the invigilators that comes here, they know that in Grimes, you can go there with peace and know that they're not going to cheat. The most person I would like to thank for the journey so far is Mrs. C. Derigos, because if she hasn't encouraged me and actually pushed me to do this secondary or do Grimes International College, I wouldn't have done it. Then my husband for supporting me and encouraging me. I remember when he collected his pension those days, he just gave it to me and said, go and use it to do your building and do the school. So he's been always there for me, and that's been. And then I have some other close friends who has been a part of my life for a long time. Mrs. Titilola Akinlawo and my great friend Folashade Komolafe. They've been very supportive, very helpful and encouraging. And my uncle, Pastor Olanriwaji Kolawole, he has been very supportive too and very helpful, advising and guiding us in the past 25 years to be who we are and where we are today, which is all to the glory of God. Reaching 25 years to me personally, I remember when we were talking about the 25 years, I said I was not going to do anything. But it just occurred to me that if you have a 25-year-old child, by that 25 years, he has gone through university, maybe married with kids. That's a big achievement, 25 years. Why not just celebrate it with the children and their parents and, you know, do something about it? Because it's a milestone to be able to achieve that. What excites me most of the next 25 years is to finish the building we're building now, to actually complete it, have a full furnished labs, which is mainly what is left there, all the labs. And on top of the labs, we have a football field, basketball field, table tennis field, to be able to see me finishing all that. I don't know how long that is going to take, maybe 2 years time, maybe 5 years, but that's something I'm looking forward to. And then see us sending out more children into the world that will have good education. One of the advice I would give to leaders in the education sector is that we should all try and help WAEC. I keep going back to this, and help WAEC to stop the cheating in school, to try and help them to eradicate cheating in WAEC exams. If we can do that, and another thing I would like to say is that school business is not one of those business that grows in 5 years. It takes a long time to be established, to grow, and to mature. It's like what they call the old wine. It takes a long time for a good wine to really mature. And that's the way school sector is. You need to put so much into it, so much of your life, so much of your personal time and finances, so much of whatever you've got to make it a good school. I just like to encourage the staff that we all should just try and continue doing our best for these children. Sometimes, the way I feel that our best is not good enough, but we can always strive to do better in everything we do. And parents, I like to say thank you for supporting us, for encouraging us, for being there for us, because it hasn't been easy, especially now that things are so expensive. But you still stayed with us, you're still there for us, you still believe in us. So I'd like to say a big thank you and like to encourage you to continue to believing in us. Thank you.